it's very difficult to actually search the whole area because it's a vast area, very mountainous, very steep, lots of dark shadow areas. So and caves as well. So it's very difficult to actually to search. I think this if kind of focused along the road, which is the last place that Jay was seen, and then move further and further towards the ocean. I think that's the way that they're doing it. I think now they're kind of almost towards the bottom of these ravines.
We're now in the seventh day of the search for Jay Slater, the 19-year-old from Lancashire who went missing on the island of Tenerife last week. He was on holiday with friends before he disappeared. Several members of his family have gone to Tenerife to join the search, including his father, Warren Slater.
Nightmare. It's been a nightmare. Just hoping that somebody has helped him off this mountain. That's all I want. Is that somebody has helped him get off this mountain.
Well, Jay had been at a music festival with two friends on Sunday and was last heard from just after 8 a.m. on Monday, when he called a friend to say he was setting off to walk back to his accommodation after missing a bus. But that walk could have taken up to 11 hours. Joe Colley is a travel writer based in Tenerife. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Callum.
I think, first of all, it'd be helpful just to understand the area. For those of us who are not familiar with Tenerife, what is it like? We talk about this walk that could have taken up to 11 hours, for example. Just describe the area to us.
Yeah, Masca is a village, a very remote village in the northwest of Tenerife, clinging to the Tino Mountains. There's one road in, one road out. Both roads are switchback roads, so quite difficult to navigate. It's about 650 meters above sea level. There's one village with around maybe 100 inhabitants, but it's become quite popular with walkers and with people just coming to see the beauty and drama of the place. The main walk down to the ocean it's about a 3-mile walk through a very steep gorge. The Barranco de Masca. It's remote, it's rugged, it's only for really experienced hikers, especially if you go off the main trail.
We heard Jay's father Warren there reference a mountain, which you're talking about as well, I think. So quite tough terrain. Also, what about the conditions, Joe, in terms of the weather, for example?
Yeah, I think the day that Jay went missing, I think the weather there, the temperature there was sunny, and I think it was about 26, 27 degrees. So it's very warm. But at night time, there's lots of shadow due to the steepness of the walls along in this area. And it can drop to maybe 4 or 5 degrees, possibly less at night time.
Can you explain to us, based on how you've described the terrain, the area, how the search is happening? What are police doing? How are they able to search such difficult ground, such difficult terrain?
The only way to search an area like this is with specialists that know this particular terrain. There are guides over here that do kind of off-trail tours, if you like, for those with a high level of fitness. And then there's a mountain rescue team, again, that know this area very well. There's helicopters, drones, dogs. But even with all that, it's very difficult to actually search the whole area because it's a vast area, very mountainous, very steep, lots of dark shadow areas. So and caves as well. So it's very difficult to actually to search. I think if kind of focused along the road, which is the last place that Jay was seen, and then move further and further towards the ocean. I think that's the way that they're doing it. I think now they're kind of almost towards the bottom of these ravines.
In terms of going to that area in general, you mentioned a village, so I'm just trying to understand, unless you're an experienced walker, it does sound as though there are places that you could go. If you were staying there, is it a popular holiday sort of resort type destination, or is it really quite different to that?
No, it's not a resort destination at all. It's a traditional village. There are a few Airbnbs there. There's no hotels. There's no facilities for tours apart from, I think there's a museum, There's maybe 3-4 restaurants and a bar, but very small places. It's not. It was. It's a. The village actually was the last place that the original inhabitants, the Guanches, hid during the Spanish conquest in 1496. That kind of shows how remote this place is.
In terms of the number of people involved in the search as well, Joe, this is something we've been reflecting upon over the last couple of days. Family members have flown out from the UK. Other people have flown out from the UK, we understand, according to some of the reporting as well. Is it obvious on the island that something is happening at quite large scale and with quite, serious implications? This is now basically a week since Jay went missing. Does it feel like this is something that's taken over the whole island almost?
Visually, no, because the main resorts are perhaps it's about an hour's drive from the main resorts in the south to Masca. But you do get the sense of concern and worry from the locals, from the residents. I mean, it's talked about all the time. It's the main topic of conversation in Tenerife at the moment. The only kind of visual signs are occasional helicopters that fly over. But everybody's concerned over here, put it that way. Yeah. The bars and the restaurants in the south, there's a car hire company that are offering cars to people that want to go and search. They're offering the cars for free.
Yeah, we were speaking to him yesterday, the owner.
Yeah, Andrew, I think it is.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's also bars and restaurants that have offered to take food up for the search teams, and anybody in the search, they can go down to these bars and restaurants in the south and have a meal or a drink. So everybody's trying to get involved. Everybody feels involved. It does feel, if you live here, it feels like your island. I know we're all foreigners here, but it does, and you have that sense of concern and worry for anybody that falls into unfortunate circumstances like this.
Joe, thank you for explaining it so well. It's very helpful to understand the conditions and the context of all of this. Thanks for your time this morning.
No problem.
That's Joe Colley, a travel writer, joining us from Tenerife.
Quite a big day for Scotland today. Must-win game against Hungary in Euro 2024. If they win, you look at the numbers, they might not qualify, but they probably will qualify in third place.
Come on.
That would be the first time in Scotland's history to make it to the knockout stages of the European Championships.
Of a major tournament.
Well, indeed. But let's focus on let's not get
Come on,
ahead of ourselves.
Come on.